we can do blanket marketing and put our marketing out across the whole state, or we could just define this radius and then be the big fish in that pond. Okay, so which makes more sense? Blanket it or big fish in small pond? Small pond, yeah, cool, agreed. So basically, like, the first thing we need to do is define our geographical area. So think about that for your business. Where's the center? And it's probably where you're located. And then think about how far do people actually travel for where you are. Is it 20 Ks, 25 Ks, you know, that kind of thing? Maybe it's smaller. You probably don't want to define a radius any smaller than 15 Ks, because the reality is a lot of these tools just don't work if it gets more granular than that. So 15 Ks would want to be the smallest. What we do know is the bigger you can make the circle, it's kind of the more effective, but it also, there's a tipping point, because otherwise if someone's at the wrong side of the city, then they're not going to convert for you, you know, that kind of thing. So has everyone basically figured out now where your center is and how far they could service? Everyone knows that roughly? Yep. Cool. So then let's look at, we've now built an effective website. We've got a great desktop version. We've got a great mobile version. We've also got effective calls to action on there. We've figured out exactly what we've got a main page for each product or service. We've got category pages that send them off. We've got effective homepage that communicates all that stuff. So now we need to, and we're churning out good content on our blog. We now need to get our message out there. So what are we going to do? So Google AdWords search. So Google AdWords is those ads at the top of Google. Okay, so this one's kind of a tricky one to set up yourself. I don't really recommend people set it up themselves. I think it's better off set up by a professional, to be honest, because the reality is if you're competing with someone who's had it set up with by someone like me, then you're basically turning up to a gunfight with a knife. You know, there's degrees of sophistication with Google AdWords search. So you're better off, and I'll get into that later of how to do it. There's things you can do yourself and there's things you need to pay a professional for. But AdWords search is going to give you one of the biggest hits. So people who are looking for group personal training, Dandenong or whatever in that example, they're searching for it, your ad comes up and it goes directly to the right page, you know, that kind of stuff. So, and then remember our 95% rule. So the second thing we've got here is Google remarketing, okay? So if someone hits our website and then they leave, we can now, by getting a piece of tracking code from Google and putting it on our website, we can now start to show them video content, and we can now start to show them banner ads, we can show them Google responsive ads. Remember to get them off to more content or to get them to come back to our main products or services, okay? So that's kind of like the next thing that we would think of. And what we're showing you here is basically exactly what Mark and his team and I have been working on with his business. So we're not showing you anything that we're not doing ourselves. The other thing of remarketing is, so these people have searched, they've turned up on the website. It doesn't mean we can't follow them around with Facebook ads as well. So, because now so the Google remarketing is like when they hit a website, any website, not necessarily on Google, but just out on the web, and Google can show banner ads there. Whereas Facebook's talking about Facebook remarketing, they hit your website and then they go over to Facebook, and now they start to see your ads there as well. And you can define, remember, whether it's 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, whatever. But now all of a sudden, if they search for you, they're finding you. And then as they navigate around the web, they're seeing your banner ads everywhere. They're seeing, they may be seeing now your ads as you go onto Facebook as well. So you're starting to get a bit more sophistication. So then this next one, Google Places Local. So you've got to think about, have you claimed your business listing on Google, in Google Maps? So claim your Google listing, and then have you got reviews so that people know you guys are good, you know what I mean? And the more reviews you've got, the better you'll turn up on that ranking if someone is searching for that local search like gym and suburb name, you know, that kind of stuff. This thing really, really matters, and it's free, and you can do it. So that's the next one that we would kind of add in. Some could even argue that might be first, so it could even be up there, like Google Places Local could be up there. So Facebook video ads, remember, so if we've got this geographical circle, and so say for example that Dandenong group fitness training type 1, then there's no reason why we couldn't be targeting people on Facebook who live in Dandenong and 15 Ks around in a radius, who are between the ages of say 18 and whatever 45, and who are interested in health, fitness, these sports, that sports, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. Or it could even just be open of this demographic in that geographical circle. But just start then putting video content out to them, saying, hey, you interested in, you know, getting fitter and healthier, or get in shape for summer? We've got a 12-week boot camp coming up, you know, that kind of stuff. Apply free here today, that kind of thing. So again, they're not searching for it, but it's like kind of a disruption medium, because Google is a little bit like the old white pages, yellow pages. People are going there to search for things, whereas Facebook is more like the coffee shop. They kind of go in there to hang out, but if they see something cool, then, oh yeah, they'll get onto it, sort of thing. So adding, Facebook video ads. Okay, adding YouTube remarketing, which Mark will testify is very, very powerful. And probably I'm guilty of not doing enough of this in recent years, but I think it's just getting better and better and better now. So why this is really powerful is because people do go to YouTube all the time. Like, everyone pretty much goes to YouTube every week. And if they've been to your website and then all of a sudden they go to watch a video, and then before the video plays, you're there talking to them, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. Oh, I know that guy, or I know that girl. They were good. And because with remarketing, it's really about the right message at the right, for the right person at the right time. So they may have seen your product or service page, and you know what, you guys were exactly right for them, but it wasn't the right time. And I often use my wife, Jules, as an example, in that, say at like 3 o'clock, she runs out the door and she picks up the kids, that kind of thing. So she could be your exact right target market, but if she saw the ad at the wrong time, 2:55 in the afternoon or whatever, she's just got to run and she's got to pick up the kids. But then if she gets back online later on, and she gets on Facebook and she gets on YouTube and she sees you talking to her about it, and she goes, oh, that's right, that girl was great. And then she clicks back. Does that make sense? So the right person, the right media at the right time. So that's why this YouTube remarketing is just so powerful. And then there's also YouTube ads. So just like how we spoke about with Facebook video ads, within our geographical circle, we can now define exact same thing. So who in this circle is of this gender between these ages and who is interested in these things, and let's start showing them these videos. And all of a sudden, if you start to implement these things, all of a sudden people are saying, wow, these guys are everywhere. And if you're leading with value, then they'll be saying that you're pretty great as well. Okay, so Instagram ads is the next one. So not a lot of people know how to do this one, but there's like these little square videos you can do. There's little square images you can do. There's things called Instagram stories, which I'm going to show you, which are like 15-second videos that are really tall and they just tell a really, really short story. And that's probably some of the cheapest traffic that we're getting at the moment. So yeah, it's again, remember the Hollywood, the rule of 3. So all of a sudden you guys are starting to get a roadmap of how you can implement the Hollywood rule of 3 in your business, so that if anyone's searching for you, they find you. Or if not, if they're just your exact target market in your geographical circle, then you're putting your message in front of them. And then also Instagram remarketing. So if they hit your website or they watched your videos and then now they go over to Instagram, then they start to see your ads as well. So really, really powerful. Google Display is talking about, again, that's set up in AdWords. It's talking about same thing. We've defined our geographical circle. We've defined out who our exact people is. And now we can just be showing them banner ads. Okay, so we're showing them banner ads to get them to go over to your content or to get them to go over to your products. And then the next one is organic search. So remember how we spoke about one service or product has one page, okay? Remember that example where we're saying that we couldn't have multiple things on one page because Google says it's about nothing. So if we now had our page which was group, personal, fitness, Dandenong, if we keep picking on that one example, could you see how that one page could rank organically, which means free traffic in Google, for if someone is in that area and they're looking for group personal fitness? Does that make sense? So that's why we got to stick to that rule of one page is about, one thing. So that would get that working. Bing ads. So the Bing search engine is about 9% of search. Not a lot of people use it, but everyone who buys a Windows computer gets it by default. So it's automatically programmed there because they don't want to give Google, obviously, because it's their competition, because Microsoft owns Bing. So unless people change it, if they go to search on their Windows computer, they're using Bing. So it does matter. It's not a big, it's not going to really move the needle a long way. But what it is, it's more leads, and it's very cost effective. It's cheaper than Google, and it's just another thing that you can do within your geographical area so that they're really seeing you everywhere. And then there's Bing Local. So just like what we're doing with Google, there's a maps thing for Bing. I don't think we've actually done that yet either. So with yours, you have you? Yeah, right. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we can claim the listing, and I'll show you we'll show you how to do that. And then there's also traditional media, which you can see comes last, which is TV and radio and all that kind of stuff. So putting in the market. So who thinks if we built that effective website and we start putting out quality content, and now we start to plug in some of these pieces, that people are going to be thinking, wow, these guys are everywhere.